Hey guys, you're back here with Credit Connector. Remember, this channel is only about you. I'm here to empower you guys. I'm here to show you how to understand your credit, how to fix your credit, and how to leverage your credit. Also, remember, I'm still dropping my VIP mentorship that you guys can still get in for free. And if you guys have any friends or relatives that don't speak English, send them to my Spanish channel, Conecto de Crédito. In this video, what we're going to talk about is 5 or 6 things that you got to do as soon as you get into Navy Federal, so you can build that internal score and you can go for those high credit cards and best products. Okay, remember, Navy Federal is relationship based. That is the most important thing. They want to build the relationship with you. Okay, so sometimes your credit might not be that strong, but if you build a relationship with Navy Federal, they're going to extend credit to you. It doesn't mean you're going to get an $80,000 credit card, but they will start with baby steps. Okay, so the first thing you got to do with Navy Federal, if you're not a member, make sure that you become a member. Remember, if you have any relatives that are in the military and they're already in Navy Federal, you can possibly go in through them, or you can do the roommate hack. Basically, if you have if you know somebody that's in Navy Federal, you can basically have them write up a lease and basically, say that you live with them. Once you're in Navy Federal, later on, you can go ahead and change the address. Nothing will happen. They don't verify all the time, but let's say they do verify, you want to make sure to provide documents, okay? Because you don't want to burn the bridges with Navy Federal. Also, once you're in Navy Federal, you want to try to build up those products because you want to build that inner score with Navy Federal. The inner score goes up from 100 to 450. You always want to stay above 250. And the only way you can know your inner score is if you apply for something. If you get approved or denied, most of the time you do receive a letter and the score is there, okay? Also with Navy Federal, if your credit is not that strong, and let's say you cannot start with the regular credit cards, you want to try to get a secure card, and you want to try to put as much as possible because normally after 6 months it does graduate. They do give you the money back. They increase your score and they increase your limit depending if you've been paying on time. Now, don't get a secure card and max it out because nothing's going to happen. You're just going to burn the bridges. You want to try always to stay underneath 10%, and every month, if you can, try to pay for it where you're underneath 6 or 7% utilization. Okay. Once it hits the 6 months, you want to see if they've extended more credit, and that way you can upgrade to a regular credit card. Also, if your credit is not that good, another way to build a relationship with them, build a rapport, is to get one of the certificates. I think it's the easy certificate. It's like $50. You can do as low as $50. And imagine getting, let's say, 10 certificates for $100 each. You have $1,000 there, and that's a way that Navy Federal knows that you're invested in them, okay? So this is really important. Try to get some of those certificates. I believe the term is 12 to 24 months. Also with Navy Federal, another thing which is really important, and I believe this is one of the highest, if not the highest, way to build, credit, the internal score of them, is to get the Flagship checking account. With the Flagship checking account, you have to have a minimum of $1,500 there every month. If you don't, what happens is you will get charged $10 a month, which is not that bad. But this is definitely going to help you build that internal score with Navy Federal. Like I said, it's probably one of the highest product to build that internal score, if not the highest internal score building, okay? Because when they see that you upgrade it to the Flagship checking account, they see that you're invested in them. So it's really more important. Also, you want to make sure to get direct deposit. So direct deposit, not only do they see that everything is coming in, so they're going to assume that this is the number one checking account, but also what it does is that it makes it easier for them when it comes to paperwork. Okay, so you want to make sure to get that direct deposit. If you're a W-2 employee, you want to make sure that your check goes in there, and you want to try, to have everything coming in. So when you're in Navy Federal, let's say you're trying to build credit because you want to get some credit products, those 3 to 6 months prior, before applying, you want to make sure that you have at least 7 to 15 transactions every month, that you're paying stuff with that checking account, they need to see that you're invested in them. Don't just put $500 and forget about it. Work that checking account, okay? Work it at least those 3 to 6 months, depending on how your credit is. That's very important. Also, with Navy Federal, you could get up to 3 credit cards with them, depending how your credit is. Normally, in combined or the flagship card goes up to $80,000. I've heard, I don't have it personally, but I've heard of people that in combined, they've gotten more than $80,000. Remember, Navy Federal is known for giving high limits on their credit card. So this is really important, okay? Also, if you guys are trying to build credit, not only with Navy Federal, but credit in general, you want to do the pledge loan hack. Okay, the pledge loan hack is when you deposit your own money to get a secure installment loan. So let's say that you put in $10,000. Imagine that's going to report to the 3 credit bureaus, and that's going to create a $10,000 trade line for you. Yeah, you can get an authorized user, but there's nothing that builds better credit than primary accounts, primary trade line. So this is something that Navy Federal has. There's other credit unions, but Navy Federal is known for this. Then once you pay it down, it gives you that money back minus the interest. So let's say you put in $10,000 and you deposit $9,950. Once I like it, once it hits your credit, some people like to pay it off 2 or 3 days later, but I want to make sure that I do get that trade line so Navy Federal doesn't think there's nothing fishy going on. Then they're going to give you a check for $10,000 and you're going to pay that amount with their own money. As soon as Navy Federal clears that, what's going to happen? They're going to release your own money, but you still created a 5-year trade line and you only owe $50. So that's going to make you look excellent in front of the banks and the lenders. And it's going to create a trade line for you that really didn't cost anything and you didn't pay somebody $2,000 or $3,000 to put you on their credit. I mean, you could get an authorized user, but there's nothing better than, primary trade lines with Navy Federal. Okay. Also with Navy Federal, besides getting all these products, it depends if you're on the business side. You can also open a business checking account. You can call them and, I think it's online, or you can call them and they're going to transfer you to the business solution. And then you can also open a business checking account. Also, remember with Navy Federal, with the CD or anything like that, the certificates, the pledge loan hack, the money needs to be in your account because that's what they do. They go in there and they're going to withdraw it from there. Okay. Also, make sure that you don't have any late payments. Your utilization is low, all those things, because you can get as much products if you want with Navy Federal. But if your consumer credit, you have late payments, you have, high utilization, that's going to kill you guys. Okay. It doesn't matter how much of a relationship you have with them, that's going to kill you. They need to see, maybe you're in the high 600s, but they see that you're building your credit profile. They're going to work with you. They're going to help you. They're not going to give you $50,000 right off the bat, but they're definitely going to work with you. Okay. Also with Navy Federal, guys, even if you have a checking account or you have the overdraft protection, try not to use it. Somebody asked me that in one of the comments, and yeah, the overdraft protection is there to protect you. Okay, it will be okay if you have one hiccup, but if they see that every month you're overdrafting, even if it's protected, that's going to make you look unstable. And if you apply for something and they do a manual review, or they actually do a review because you're applying for a mortgage or a car loan or something like that, that's more detailed, that's going to make you look sloppy. So you could get denied for that reason. So make sure that you don't have any hiccups with Navy Federal. This is one that you want to keep, especially if you're a maximizer and you're going like from bank to bank or credit union to credit union, and you just utilize them for that moment. Always stay in good standings with Navy Federal. Okay, guys, give me a like, subscribe to my channel, give me a comment. It's the only way I'm going to get to know you. Also, remember, I'm not an attorney. I'm not giving any legal advice. This is just for learning, entertainment. You guys always have to go out there and do your homework, your due diligence. And guys, join my free mentorship. I'm definitely going to start going live there, and that's a way that we can connect. Remember, this is Jackie from Credit Connector. Until next time.